For 7 months, I've stayed silent about my boyfriend's cheating. I, 23F, found out while my boyfriend, 26M, was away for work. A girl he slept with sent me a DM on Instagram. She told me everything and even sent pictures. I remember staring at my screen, my heart pounding, my hands shaking. I felt like my entire world had just shattered. I didn't even respond, lol. I just sat there, drowning in pain. I finally understood what it meant to have a dagger to the heart. Anyway, I made a decision. I wouldn't confront him. Instead, I grieved and mourned our relationship like it had already died. I've been with him for 3 years. I thought everything was going perfectly. I didn't see this coming at all. That entire week, I was alone, cycling through every emotion imaginable. And this might sound crazy, but there was a part of me that almost needed to feel the pain, like I was clinging to it, letting it consume me. And this may sound emo, but it felt good. I can't explain it, but I felt alive. Maybe this is borderline masochistic, but whatever. This is how I wanted to cope. Meanwhile, the girl kept messaging me. More pictures, more details, receipts, lol, and even videos. It just got worse and worse. It turned into taunts and cursing. It felt like she was desperate for us to break up. But I never responded. Instead, I kept reading her messages over and over, torturing myself with the truth until, at some point, it didn't hurt anymore. I started to feel numb. He was still himself, sweet and caring and affectionate. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have suspected a thing if that girl didn't DM me. He would sometimes catch on that I was acting off, and I'd blame my hormones or stress from work, and he would buy it. I pretended everything was fine, and he would have noticed something was deeply wrong if he wasn't busy cheating. I think it also helped that we got along very well as roommates and friends. We were still having sex. He was a generous lover. Too generous even, and it helped bear with it all. I lied, saying my implant fell out, so we began using condoms. And I got myself tested regularly. Thankfully, I was clean the whole time. I eventually started seeing him as someone I lived with, and we just happened to have sex. It took months, but one day something inside me shifted. Like the love I had for him started fading. I went through every stage of grief. Now I feel free and lighter. I know I can live without him, and that realization is the most liberating feeling. This is the craziest part. Everything I once found beautiful about him started to look distorted. I started to see his flaws. It was like I was under a spell, adoring and loving this man, and now when I look at him, I'm like, how, lol. This week, I'm moving into my own place. And I'm finally breaking up with him. I'm mentally checked out, and I'm at peace with myself. I am okay. I feel a sense of dread but also relief that I will finally break up with him. It took 7 months to finally get over him. I don't know if I'll tell him that I know he cheated on me, just say I don't want him anymore, or just ghost him. All I know is I'm breaking up with him. Commenter, you should absolutely tell him you know he cheated. He shouldn't be absolved. Ghost him and leave the screenshots, but at least let him know that you know he's a piece of shit. OP, I have a private folder on my phone with everything I saved. I was just using it to keep my feelings in check. This is a good idea. Commenter, at first, I thought you went about it wrong, but you took your time to build your strength and heal. I guess we each have our own journey. That being said, please ghost him and give him no closure. That will mentally mess him up for his betrayal for years to come. OP, my initial goal wasn't to heal but to feel. I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up healing anyway, and I'm glad it worked out. If I ghosted, it would definitely mess him up. Besides the relationship, we were best friends. Commenter, this is what my psychologist recommends. Feel it and then let it go. I also think that ghosting is the way to go. If you tell him that you know about the cheating, he will get better at hiding it from the next girl or even blame it on the girl who DM'd you. Ghosting without an explanation will make it easier for you. You don't need to explain. You don't need to waste your time listening to how he would change or that it was a mistake, etc. If you don't give him a reason that he can challenge, it will be better for you. You did the work. You deserve your peace. You owe him nothing. He deserves nothing from you. The opposite of love is indifference. Good for you, by the way. Well done. OP, I've been dealing with this alone for so long. Mentally sifting through my thoughts, feeling the pain so deeply. It was therapeutic. I was at rock bottom for a while, and the only way out was up. I am mentally in a better place. I'm starting to enjoy the little things again. I can finally breathe. The way I dealt with this was definitely unconventional. Thankfully, I now do feel indifferent. I am free, and thank you for your kind words. I do deserve peace. Update. I finally moved out early in the morning, right after he left for work. It was his place, and I didn't have much to begin with, so the move was easy. I'd been slowly filling up my new place over the past month, getting everything ready so I could leave without hassle. A lot of you suggested I ghost him, but I couldn't. That's just not me. I don't like disappearing on people, even when they deserve it. So instead, I came back that evening and waited for him to get home from work around 7 p.m. I was nervous, but also kind of relieved for it all to finally be over. When he walked in, I was sitting at the dining table wearing my coat. He immediately sensed something was off. He asked me where I was going, and I told him, home. He laughed and said, "But you are home," clearly trying to play it off, but he could tell something was up. Then I sent everything I'd been collecting, screenshots, videos, all of it, to his WhatsApp. He looked confused and asked why I was texting him. And then he opened the messages. I watched the color drain from his face. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I did. He went pale, breathing heavily, and just placed his phone on the table, staring at me like I was a ghost. I didn't say anything, just watched him. Then came the begging. He grabbed my hand, apologized over and over, said he didn't mean to cheat, claimed he ended it 3 months ago, that she meant nothing, and how much he loves me and wants to marry me. I told him we're never getting married. It's over. And I didn't say anything else. That's when he broke down crying like a child. I was honestly disgusted. I stood there watching him on his knees, clutching my legs, begging for forgiveness, and I felt nothing. No sympathy. No sadness. Just done. I was completely checked out. I didn't want to say much to him. I just felt numb, and it felt pointless. Eventually, he turned into this emotional, sweaty, sobbing mess. When he went to the bathroom, I grabbed my last backpack and left. It's finally over. I'm grateful I don't love him anymore. It was an unconventional way to get over someone, but it worked for me.